Yeah, I mean, I'm not because of any reason. I think I went past house.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I feel like I should just say, talk amongst yourself. You seem to be having a good time. Anyway, to start off, I would like to mention my condition I've been asked to do, and I've been diagnosed with MND, motor neuron disease, and it's been with me now from the first symptoms for 7 years, although I've only been diagnosed for 3 years. So what happened was I did a commenced study. I've always volunteering for studies and trials, and I got turned down for a lot of them, but I did a psychological study called Commend. Long story short, that was a Zoom study because it was in lockdown, and the guy at the end of the 10 weeks course asked me what I thought I could still do with MND and what I intended to do, and I told him I couldn't play darts anymore, a big part of me life, and I couldn't bloody play golf either. Not that I ever could, but I did enjoy it. Anyway, I did tell him that I'd write a book, which I did, and it took me 6 months to write the book, and most people in here were named in it for good or bad reasons. But anyway, I wrote the book, and it was a success, selling copies in Canada, America, Spain, France, Australia and New Zealand. So I was quite pleased with that. So I did write a second one, a bit more on the social side rather than the mining side, but anyway, that's also been a success, and I don't think there's any more in with me at the moment anyway. There is a photograph of a 14-year-old Donald and soon to be 15, and what the hell happened between then and now, I don't know. But anyway, I didn't know what adventures and friends that I meet and dangers associated with mining. I did, before I go on to mining proper, all you lads that are sat here that know me for please keep quiet. The first job I had was pony driving, and this is a shot of the underground stables. The ponies had to eat light and food, and they just going out to start a shift work. This is a pony that's at work a long time ago, and the driver is riding on what we call the limers, highly illegal, but they did used to train you to ride them safely when you were doing your underground training, which took 6 months. That's younger, but anyway, this is a famous photograph of a snap time with the ponies and the driver sharing his snap with him. The miners used to fuss about the ponies and bring apples and oranges and bits of fruit, and at the right time of the year. What's happening is going on its own. The right time of the year, they'd pick up mown grass and take it underground to put in the nose back of the pony. This is a sad occurrence, but it happened a lot of times, and that's a derailment of a tub. This guy is trying to re-rail it, but I would never do what he's doing. He's still got the horse coupled to the load, and if I fall to the ground or something spooked the horse, he would be in a mess. The end of the shift, the ponies were cleaned and hosed down if they were in working in muddy conditions, and then the vet would call every month, or when the hostler required him. This is a good supply gate, a very good supply gate. Plenty of clearance, and not suffering from weight from the roof or sides. And not very often that happened, but of course it did in some. This is a not so good one, and needs a good back ripping because it's suffering from weight and distortion of the steel supports, as we call arches. This is a terrible gate, and the only reason I would think that that's being examined is that it's an air road and needs to be kept open for ventilation reasons, and that's not suffering from vertical weight. Bloody hell. What's up with this, Harry? He keeps going on his own. Anyway, that's for more floor lift than vertical weight because the arches are not distorted. A deputy testing for methane, which was part of his duties, and keeping the ventilation flowing to keep the men safe. He was testing high spots in the roadway and the mouth of shot holes and the ripping lips. Anyway, this is beating me. Anyway, this is a co-viewer at work, and he would be quite happily hacking away at the coal and loading it out. My granddad was a coal viewer in his day. I'm going back, it's going too fast. What's happening? No, it's moving on without me doing anything. No, well, I'll carry on, Dina. I call you at work. A very labour-intensive and hard worker. You can see why they were thirsty when they finished and heading for the pub. This is the first operation in tandem with cutting that took place on a long wall cyclic mining, and that is drilling on. I've got a few photographs of drillers. Some men are miners, and some in here would sooner pick a rattlesnake up than one of them drilling machines. And anyway, that's another one, drilling in a higher seam, much better. Then after the drillers, or whilst the drillers were drilling, the cutter man comes along with his machine undercutting the seam of coal. You can see the stone roof above him, and he's holding the machine along undercutting the coal. This is a shop for stemming the drill holes and cleaning them out, and very soon charging them up. These are some of the explosives used underground. Polar Ajax, the one lower, is the most strongest, and it can't be used in coal measures, but would be used in stone drifts or such things. The shovel is now ready to blast away at his shots and make a lot of work for a lot of men. with a plastic goal. And there he is, the miner, shoveling away at his plastic gold onto a conveyor that is hidden out of sight to his left-hand side, and they would happily fell out about 10 or who's that? And oh, let's go back. And he's happily felling away, and his mate alongside him would help him to set his supports, and they would help each other through the shift. I did fell off 3 ratchets myself. I fought his face, and I was in between Ali Costello, an usual guy, and Ossie Richards, Leicester guy, and I was only 20, and they looked after me, and hopefully I did the same throughout my career as a lot of you guys did. I did put this in. I didn't think it was out of place, and it's a drawing of a miner helping his mates that's partially buried through a failure of support. And that was the behave, Rob. Now, this is the other gate of the phase, and it's the conveyor road. Each phase had 2 parallel gates to it, one being the supply road, and this one being the main gate or mother gate, and the coal would be brought out of that gate. These photographs are very old, but nothing really changed. This is after the coal had could have been loaded onto the conveyor. Nearer the pit bottom, it would be loaded into tubs or mine cars for winding up the shaft. This is me and Johnny Lincoln. Gordon Clark were part of it at times. Cyril Wheatley and Graham Fox, safety quiz team, and we were very successful. And this is the presentation at Snippy Miners Welfare. And yes, we all got presented with a small replica of a flame safety lamp. And now again, whatever happened between then and now is a mystery. I just can't talk about pit work without mentioning that bloke. He talked to me when I was 20 and he was 34, and we worked together. His name is Pat Martin, and a lot of people would know him. Bless him, he's gone now, but I'll never forget him. And Billy Rod. Billy was a fun figure. They were always asking him the time because they knew he couldn't see his watch, and they had to do like that. Mechanisation started to be introduced in the middle 60s and before, and to the man riders that were organised to rush men into the face who were refreshed and earlier. This is a face machine, the heavy duty Tripana, and I did enjoy driving these, or the later model. This is a floor-mounted one, travelling along the face and cutting and loading coal on a metal conveyor. The front cutting element rotating, as was the roof turret. What you can't see is the floor turret that would be cutting the floor and trimming it. Other type of machine is a shearer. They were the main types of machine, but now you can see instead of wooden supports they're hydraulic and metal, and the conveyor in that state, what we call the panzer, was ready to be pushed over, thus creating a gap behind the panzer, which I'll illustrate later, for the supports to be advanced, and instead of it taking 24 hours as a hand filling in cyclic mining to do a cycle, this was continuous mining, and as long as you could keep the conveyors going, the guys would quite merrily travel up and down the face cutting coal. We did have visitors underground, and some ladies, as seen here, looking at the business end of a shearer. The rotating drum were loaded with vicious coal cutting picks, and the lads did enjoy, especially the canteen women, coming underground to see what they actually did. This is in the thicker seam in Warwickshire, actually Dull Mill, and this is what conditions they worked in, cutting 12 feet of coal in one go with a double-ended shearer, and it was much easier, and their faces would be coal factories. This is a typical machine driver waiting for the photographer to get out of the way and let the panzer go so it can get cut in again. As much as they did enjoy a few minutes with the panzer standing, all they really wanted to do was cut coal. Another shearer with a cowl fitted to a clean-up, not doing a very good job with the looks of that. It would help if the panzer were running. This is the conditions that a medium height face where the guys would be travelling along on all fours. They got used to it and got on with it. And this is a guy advancing the support. You can see the communications at his side, which we just heard is working all right. George Brown, oh, I love this guy, I did. He was my pit dad, and he seen here a shoveling or a shovel of coal, and the 6.5 is the output per man shift of 6.5 tons. That was for every man jack at Ellistown, the office staff and everyone else involved. And there he is again with some of the service workers, George Bottrell and Cracky Watson, one or two more. There a lot of people will know of. I can't get away with mentioning the instinct work, the development that took place. And this is a dictator that would be in the business of keeping within the seam and doing about 60 or 70 meters a week, trying to race against time to head a new face out and get it installed before the old one had ran out of coal. Oh, I was Overman there, you don't worry. And I had hair as well. Oh, this is what it's all. This was the main reason for this photograph, is to show that the panzer snaked onto the face because it was flexible and the chocks are about to be drawn in. Peter Ridgway, Ronnie Wallman, Bernard Loeb, Berta, Graham Burton and me. And there we are again. This is 61's face, the first temple face at Ellistown, and I could run up and down it, but by God I had to do to keep it going. It was the hardest place I've ever had to run, but all good fun, and they were an excellent team of guys that I had. No mining tour would be complete without mentioning the rescue teams. Dedicated guys, and they were from Ashford, and I handpicked them all, and they were a credit to me, and I was in the rescue myself for 70 years and loved it. Ashford is a greenfield site, not a true photograph because it was taken from the top of one of the towers, so it wasn't truly the place that we occupied with the towers. And the substation was there, John, did you see it? Anyway, this was one of the first operations prior to sinking. The centre bore was drilled down to the bottom of the downcast shaft, and then the drilling rigs were drilling a circle of holes for the mid-shaft freeze, and then we were going to carry out. Most other places were frozen from the top of the and the surface, but this one was primed for a mid-shaft freeze, so we could start sinking before the ground was frozen. Oh, and this is the sinking neck here, the brown temporary sinking neck here. Don Ward there at the signals, and it raised muck out of the shaft and supplies in. This is one of the towers being built while we were using the sinking neck here, trying to do the concrete structure around the permanent tower to later install the permanent winder and the permanent headgear. Another shot of the tower there with the tower crane in view. That's me and Frank. Where are you? We climbed up that one Sunday morning before it was commissioned. Pre-shifting it, we said. Sinking started and a little back-acting digger that was digging away consistently at the ground level, and it was serviced by a Scotch derrick lifting the kibbles of muck out of the shaft. This is a complicated steel fixing shot that tries to illustrate the amount of rebars and the skill it took to fix all that steel before before the concrete was poured. Similar shot there, and you can see the kibble at the moment being unloaded. Kibble is a massive bucket, and this is not a good shot, but it's just for information. When we were sinking, we needed a working platform, and this is that. It's about 10 meters high and with 4 working levels, and each level suffice to do a particular operation. This is a sinker operating what we call the concrete bagging, and he is placing concrete within the shutters, and there would be 4 of them, and each one, depending on the diameter of the shaft. Well, it was 8.5 meters, but the depth of concrete required at that point would be about 180 cubic meters of concrete per 6 meters of shaft sunk. This is the freeze chamber itself. At 270 meters deep, we widened the shaft out to locate the freeze boreholes that had previously been installed. And we located them, and in the ring main system poured down 29,000 gallons of freezing point an hour at a temperature of minus 22 degrees. I must tell you a story about this. To access the freeze chamber while the freeze was on, we had to examine it, and the sinking was carrying on below us, and to access the freeze chamber we had to stop the cable mid-shaft 270 meters down, and withdraw a travelling walkway that would slide out and locate into the kibble. At that point, we all had to climb out of the kibble, fit electrician and deputy, and walk along the gangplank with the handrails to it, but there wouldn't be any wider than half a metre, 18 inches, and wasn't everybody's cup of tea to climb out of the kibble and travel the 3 metres to the safety. And when we had deputies new from Bagworth, they come to join us. 2 or 3 of them bottled it and couldn't do it, and then they came back to Bagworth or whatever bit they come from, and had tales about us walking the gangplank 100 metres above the sinking stage, but it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, that's for sure, but we grew up with it and we dealt with it. Same with the towers, not everybody's idea of fun to go up 55 metres and walk along scaffolding, but it was good fun. They were the towers completed, a lot of tree planting going up, as you can see. They were a sight to behold when coming into Malden. Proud of them we were. This is top of the working stage, the very last level. If you can see the heavy-duty chains that are suspending it, and actually only one of them guys is a sinker, same as Sharky, Tony Spring. Now, I did mention the kibble, and this is the guys in the kibble rating to be raised above the shaft cover doors to be lowered into the depths. Oh. Okay, this is when we were now sang through the circle of ice that was formed by the brine below freezing, and we're now on our way to the actual pit bottom, and this is looking back over to the working stage, this bloody thing. Anyway, this is the working stage from below. That was a sight, but mainly it's taken to show you, if you can see the corrugations on the inside of the concrete, that was the travelling shutter that we lowered to in 6 metre increments to pour concrete, lined and levelled each time by surveyors it had to be cock on. And this is the formation of the pit bottom now, going east and west, and top lip being formed. So now we're at the bottom and starting to go horizontally. No, they shot at me and Frank. I were always with the photographer. Anyway, this is the second lift of the insects being taken. Frank being the deputy. And if you look closely, you can actually see the detonator wires hanging from the shot holes, ready to be blasted. A goal at last. It took us about 2.5 years to get down to it, but this was the Parkgate seam, about 7 foot thick, and although we knew it was there, it was a big relief to find it. Another tale I've got to tell you. When we loaded that coal out, it went to Cockgrave to be washed and cleaned and sized. Having sent it there, they sent it straight back because they hadn't seen magnet toroids before and thought they were live deads. So they wanted nothing to do with it, but we assured them that it was quite safe, and they accepted it then. Another shot with the gaffer mixed gold in. He's actually got a shovel in his hand, so a great deal was made of that. And then they can't believe that when you look at it, you think it's gold. In actual fact, it's a lump of stone that got blackened, but it served the photograph all right, 'cause the coal had already gone. This was posted in the lamp room, and it was the singers, one of them did this, and it was a source of great hilarity with in mind and the gaffer in mind. Now we needed British coalmen, and this was the front page of the British Coal magazine that appeared monthly. Mountains finest. My God, I look bit there in me Jimmy Savile tracksuit. I reckon you've got that for me, Frank. Big cheer went up with the arrival of the first RH-14. And this was the machine that was going to do a lot of the work and saved men a lot of hard work. And he was a beast, although he could do with an oil tanker behind it. This is the compatibility test. These were the supports we were going to be setting underground, and so we needed to make sure everything worked. The same with the cranes. This isn't a high-up crane, the same that you see on brick lorries offloading bricks. And these segments were exactly a ton and 80 degrees. 4 of them plus a 40-degree segment completed the full 360 degrees. This is a shield that I mentioned being built on the gym. Looking at that, I built this thing more times and put it back together after dismantling it. Magic piece of kit, very safe to work in. And this is the sort of roadway that it constructed by British coalmen, initially by contractors, but this road was done by British coalmen, Darrell Seeger being one of the deputies. I was really proud of that, and that's me if you didn't guess it in the tunnel. This is another size of roadway, and that's Andy Cooper, bless him, rest in peace Andy, a fine bloke. This is a photo for Johnny Twig. This is the roadway he constructed. I know there's a machine in there, and that's an FSV for hauling stuff along the roadways to service the face and the head ends, but that roadway was 7.5 meters wide, 7.5 meters high. Although you can't see it, the inverted section is under the compacted flowway, and these guys took to it, never seen anything like it before, and constructed this roadway in 3 lifts, a top section, mid-section, and Johnny Twig had come along with his miner, his Webster miner, and cut out and set the inverted section. They made me really proud. This is a shot of the heading without the shield, and these were not safe, not unsafe, but hard work to make it safe. you may spend more time bolting the face for a 6.5 metre roadway circular than you did actually constructing it. Me again, how do I keep getting it in there? And with the mine, we had to construct a 3,000-ton bunker, 100 metres deep, 10 metres in diameter, and these were the guys that did it. It was made to hold an hour's coal in. Should there be a hold up in the pit bottom, and everything was rated. All the conveyors, the shafts were rated at 3,000 tons an hour. That's because to lower the RH14 controls. Very comfortable to drive. This is the shield underground when it's actually thrown into U-junction. Thurling is when one railway breaks out into another. And I bought the shield in a bit low. I didn't mind it hitting the legs, but I didn't want it hitting the beam. 2 out of 3 I didn't mind, but that trick I didn't want. Surveyors in another British coal heading lining up for the conveyors. This was a surge bin. Actually, after I left Asfordby, it actually collapsed, and they phoned me up and said, "No to do with me, it's an act of God." Fraser Gifford in the surge bin drive. These are some of the guys that drove the headings and G2 and 16. Every junction was lettered, so G2 and 16 will mean something to these guys, but nothing to anybody else without a plan. These are the guys in the shield heading, all very proud of what they'd done and what they'd achieved. In Seamers, not sure I'll be interested in
That was the
this.
gay side of the bit.
Anyway, it seemed was a big part of the work that was being done, and these were the heading teams that really made these machines sing, and they were, although it takes some spotting, above their heads is the actual jib that did the cutting of the face of the headings. It was all manually bolted, roof and sides, having done away with steel arches and wood props and all that sort of thing. So these guys, and this is a drill rig that actually took the hard work away from vertical drilling and horizontal drilling to support the roof and sides. This was an American machine, and it supported the ground, and also it gave the drivers a roof cover and dustless drilling, because what they were drilling, the drill was hollow, and the dust was sucked inside the drill rod and deposited in a bin. And this is it in action underground. Darryl will like this one as well. And these guys made these machines absolutely sing, and they went on a European record attempt and succeeded in breaking it, actually adding out 365 meters in a week. And that was halfway through the week. The cutting machine developed a fault in the gearbox. Do you remember that, Mick? We limped along, so the target was 500 meters. We got 365, and we beat the last record set by a Nottinghamshire pit. We went through that on Thursday morning, having Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday still left. After this came the Bolton miner that would actually cut out, and then without moving would be all the roof holding. Yes, it was okay in a straight line, but not as fast as place changing. How we got rid of the coal was a shuttle car. Who's that driving? Not sure. Is it? I thought it was, yeah. He'd have a sitting down job, wouldn't it? Anyway, these shuttle cars were holding 10 tons, and each one, there would be 2 servicing a machine and interchanging. All this machine running around would take the toll on the roadways with deep rutting and that sort of thing. So we acquired a Povey machine and let Ivor Jones drive it. All this time, when the canteen was built, and the canteen ladies would look after us and have theme days and things like that. So, yes, they were very good in the capable hands of Anne Wordsworth, who was the manageress. And then they would have a do for the old folks and dress up, and some of the lads would take part as well. And there we are with the old folks. I thoroughly enjoying themselves, and they loved it. Such a shame that it had to end like this, through nobody's fault, and I will say that, and there's a few here that can contradict me if they like, but I have never ever worked with a set of guys that wanted so hard for that place to succeed. It was fantastic atmosphere, and nobody ever refused to do anything. Many a tear was shed over that, except for the Duke of Rutland. Anyway, on to Dormill. Stu. All right. Spray concrete tunnel. I was out of the pit for 6 months or more, and I kept getting pestered by contractors to go down to Dormill. Eventually I succumbed, and initially I was running contracts there, but when they ended I went into this tunnel, the likes of which I've never experienced, and these guys hadn't anyway. And it was essentially a steel construction with concrete sprayed in between the arches and on the face to make it safe. And there you see the Malchinic spraying the sides with concrete. This is the beast that did the damage. Some machine that was. My word, it murdered everything in his path except for a little bit of our stone we hit. It didn't slow us down much. About 18 meters a week that was. This is the tunnel completed, except for the removal of the ventilation ducting. I'm very proud of that, but I was only a shift foreman there. And a similar photograph of the same heading. We couldn't make manholes in the side of the road, so we had to build them, and that was the shot of a guy in the manhole, being protected as the loco went past. An electric Povey loco. And this tunnel went 1,800 metres and actually passed under the M6 to get to what coal that Coventry had left behind when that closed to actually access the reserves that they had left. Proud of my team again. I'm there on the right hand side with me fist up. I think Mick had said something to me. I was threatening him. We went 365 days accident free. Right, there's the other team. We didn't like the other team. They always left us a lot of work. As everybody knows that's worked in the pit, it's always the other team. There we go, safety quizzing again. We had success at the Swallow Hotel in Rotherham. It was such a success, we were never invited back again. Oh, that's it. That's it. I was expecting a few more photographs, but I would like to thank Dina and my family who supported me, Julie and Harry. And thank you very much for turning up tonight and keep it very quiet. If you